Hi everyone, this is Leo coming to you again today. Just filming with my phone, and then I'm going to end up uploading it. This isn't really focusing in there too good. But I'm going to give you a little computer lesson today and a little story behind it. And a lot of times, if anybody's been watching my comments and posts and stuff like that, I put 3 dots after it. And what does 3 dots mean? Basically, anybody who knows computers should know what 3 dots mean. But I'm going to teach you just in case you don't understand what that means. And really what it means is to be continued. It's not the full information. So how does that work? Well, okay, I'm going to teach you here. I'm just going to have to bear with me with the quality here. Notice you have the word file there, and that's your menu bar. So I click on that, and you see a menu comes down. And notice after some of them, there's 3 dots. 3 dots. 3 dots. 3 dots. What that signifies is that there's more to it. More is going to come up. So it's going to bring up a dialog box, and you'll have more options to do it. So I click here. I know if it has 3 dots, something's going to pop up. And then I can look it over and make my choices, or I can just cancel out of it. So if I wanted to go up here again to File, and this time I went down to a different one, or let's say Site Manager, has 3 dots. And then this dialog box pops up with all different options. So that's what the 3 dots is. You always know something else is going to pop up when you have 3 dots. Now, if it doesn't have 3 dots, like that new tab or close tab, it executes that command immediately. So it's instantaneous. So if I hit the exit down here, it would exit right out of the program. Now, what this program is it's called FileZilla. And it's a FTP program, which is a file transfer protocol, but it's a way you can upload and download files to servers and web servers on the internet. So a lot of people would not be familiar with this software, but if you're within the computer industry and IT, you know what I'm talking about. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, give you one of my routines I used to do when I used to teach Windows. And I'm going to bring up, let's bring up here. Let's bring up Solitaire for a second. All right. I think everybody's familiar with this game. I'm going to tell a story with this in a second. And then here's Mozilla Firefox. So if we go here and we look at its menu, save page as, you say, well, what the heck is save page as? And then you just click on it because you know you're going to get something else that's going to pop up, and then you take a look at what they're looking for. So it's a great way to explore programs. Submit feedback on this one. And that's the way I used to tell people how to learn programs. It's just go through and anything 3 dots, just kind of pull it up and see what it's asking, what options it's giving you, and stuff like that. It gives you an overview of what the capabilities of the programs are. All of these programs, when you're learning computers, from Microsoft Office, Microsoft Word, from anything, Adobe, they're so involved if you get in depth with them that you could teach them for very, very long periods of time. Most people don't even touch the capabilities that the program can do. They do what they need to do. Anyway, I'm going to show you a little routine that I used to do. Here's my other computer there. It can be kind of scary when I pop on one of these videos. That's okay. Relax, people. Anyway, if you've never been familiar with it, the Alt-Tab key, what it does in Windows is it allows you to move between programs quickly. So if you have multiple windows up, it allows you just to quickly move to what you want and you let it go. So it's a lot quicker sometimes than using the mouse and coming down and then choosing the window where you wanted to go to. It's much quicker to do it with the keyboard. And a lot of times, if you know the keyboard commands, it's quicker than using the mouse. But when I used to teach Windows, and especially back in the 90s when it was, you know, more new to people are much more familiar with technology today than they were back then. But Microsoft actually put Solitaire into Windows for a reason. And the reason was mouse skills. Because people were not familiar with using a mouse, as you can see. One of my bad habits there. It's okay. I can alter. And people didn't know how to use them when, you know, I was teaching Windows. So you literally had to like tell people, okay, keep moving the mouse. Yep, we're going all the way up to the word again. Yep, keep going. That's it. A little bit higher. Okay, click. You know, that's the level people were. But here, this game incorporates all the different mouse skills you need. For example, see that ace? We're playing solitaire, so I can double click on it and it throws it up. Okay, and as you play the game, here you got a 9 that can go under the 10, so you're clicking and dragging and letting it go. And you're playing a game, but at the same time, you're learning your mouse skills, which are, you know, very basic as far as people are today. But back then, you know, you had to teach people this. So here's my story. I used to have a routine with this game. And we would, when I taught at CompUSA in Culver City, we would teach all day long, 9 to 5. And invariably, as I was teaching the Windows class, somebody, you know, would get information overload, they would get distracted, something, and they would switch off topic or you know, pull up solitaire. And I used to have the lights a little bit low in the classroom. So when somebody switched to solitaire like this, as you can see, it's all green, you know, I would see, because I would be looking this way, I would see the green light coming off their face, and I would know that they were playing solitaire. And as soon as I saw that, I would kick into my routine. And it reminds me of the Avengers movie where Robert Downey Jr., you know, points over, and that man's playing Galaga. That was my routine, so I laughed when I saw that in the Avengers. But so I would notice it, and I would slowly, you know, somber over to the area, and you know, he couldn't tell that I knew what he was doing. And then I would just kind of like bolt around the side and say, and look, he's playing solitaire, or she's playing solitaire. And they didn't really know anybody else in the class, and they didn't really know me. So they were all embarrassed, and they would get red-faced and didn't know, like they felt like they were in trouble and stuff like that. And then I would kick in a room and I say, if that ever happens, your boss comes into the room, or your superior or an authority, and you want to get off the screen real quick, you can use the Alt-Tab key and quickly switch to another program, and you're just working away, doing what you need. And when your boss leaves, you can kind of just switch right back and continue your bad behavior. But and everybody would love it, the routine in the class. And it really hammered home the Alt-Tab key, so you can just, you know, quickly get yourself out of trouble there. And everybody loved it when people always like to learn something a little bit bad, so it adds a little flavor to it. But anyway, so that was just one of my routines, and that's the little story there. So once again, I'm totally flying on my own. I'm not scripted at all. You notice I'm saying is because I don't, you know, fully know, you know, how it's going to come out. So that's it for today. Like what I'm saying, Shark Week, Shark Week, Shark Week, and the Hammerhead is my favorite shark. So love it, love it. Philly, 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 Dilly, Billy, Philly.